road rage, frequent irritability in everyday situations such as shopping in the supermarket, or angry outbursts triggered by even minor unpleasant comments or behavior from other people, such as colleagues, romantic partners, or children. We often meet people who react intensely to situations, and we may even be them. Contrary to popular belief, these traits aren't exclusive to people from dysfunctional families. In fact, people from what we consider normal families can also exhibit such behaviors. This realization highlights our own ignorance and narrow-mindedness. Hi, and welcome to today's video, where we will explore the complex and multifaceted world of trauma. We'll uncover its roots, understand its profound impact on our lives, and discuss the pathways to healing and resilience. Some may lose their temper quickly, others may withdraw completely. Then there are those who seem particularly difficult to deal with. These reactions may seem inexplicable at first, but they're often rooted in past experiences that have deeply affected them. Traumatic events. Trauma can take many forms. For example, it can range from experiences such as sexual harassment and physical abuse to witnessing acts of violence. The long-term effects of trauma can make it difficult for people to feel safe and secure in their own bodies. These past events make it difficult for them to regulate their responses to their environment. The nature of trauma is complex. It is not just a mental or emotional phenomenon. It penetrates our senses. Traumatic experiences penetrate deep into the psyche. They reach the primitive parts of our brain that are responsible for basic survival instincts. This part of the brain is constantly evaluating our environment and determining whether a situation is safe or dangerous. An event becomes traumatic when we feel powerless to prevent or change it. In such situations, our bodies automatically resort to survival strategies: fight, flight, or freeze. To ensure survival, the body will store this information and try to protect us from any future dangerous event by responding with increased general alertness. This leads to one of the lasting effects of trauma, which is an increased response to even mild stressors. People who have experienced trauma may feel subconsciously that their lives are in danger at the slightest provocation and react with their personal coping mechanism. This is purely a protective mechanism of the body. A person may be going about their day normally, when suddenly something said or done by someone else triggers an extreme reaction in them. They could go from a state of calm to extreme anger in a matter of seconds. This is not an isolated phenomenon. Many people repeatedly experience the emotional and psychological effects of past traumatic events. These experiences can resurface in different ways, as vivid images, specific behaviors, or intense physical sensations. Initially, many may perceive these experiences as unusual or rare. However, a closer look reveals that such traumatic experiences are unfortunately quite common. For example, a study from 2012 found that more than 80% of parents spanked their children between kindergarten and third grade. Similarly, 1 in 4 children in the US witness physical violence between their parents. A crucial aspect that is often overlooked is that many people are not fully aware that their current reactions are deeply rooted in past experiences. They may not realize that although the traumatic event has passed, their body and mind continue to react as if they are still in danger. However, the effects of trauma are not limited to individual experiences within a lifetime. Research shows that trauma can also be transgenerational. Transgenerational trauma refers to a type of trauma that does not end with the individual. Rather, it persists and is passed down from one generation to the next. In families where there's a legacy of unresolved trauma, along with problems such as depression, anxiety, and addiction, there's a tendency to inherit ineffective coping mechanisms and pessimistic outlooks. The exact number of generations is still the subject of research, but it is clear that trauma can be passed down through generations. Not only psychological trauma, but also physical adaptations triggered by trauma can be passed down through generations. In a recent study, researchers conducted an experiment in which mouse pups were separated from their mothers one day after birth and placed with a new female mouse whose own pups had just been removed. This process of raising pups with an adoptive mother was repeated daily for several days. The pups exposed to this early life stress developed increased pain sensitivity and hyperventilation, both of which are considered defensive responses to stress. These changes were not just behavioral. They could be measured quantitatively by assessing the mice pain thresholds and hyperventilation rates. The researchers then examined the mice DNA for genetic markers. They discovered significant changes in the genes associated with hyperventilation and increased pain sensitivity in mice that had been separated from their mothers early in life. The researchers found that both the increased pain sensitivity and hyperventilation were passed on to their offspring through 2 subsequent generations. Yes, amazing, isn't it? These findings indicate the profound and lasting biological effects of early life stress. Such a study cannot currently be carried out in humans for ethical reasons, of course, but there is reason to believe, according to these researchers, that similar effects could occur in human babies who are separated from their mothers early in life. The study provides valuable insights into how trauma can alter our genetic makeup, influencing our responses to stress and potentially predisposing us to various mental problems, but also insights into the risk of passing these on through generations if we do not work to heal from trauma. Treating trauma is a complex and delicate process. The main challenge is to help people feel safe in their bodies and live their lives free from shadow of fear. It is important to recognize that trauma is a common experience and to approach its treatment with empathy, understanding, and a commitment to creating a safe environment for healing. In triggering situations, it is very helpful to show compassion rather than judgment, not only for others, but especially for ourselves. Compassion is key. It's about being in a relationship where people feel heard and understood. It's about creating a space where they can express how they feel and start to unravel the origins of those feelings. Understanding where these feelings come from, how old they are, and how they have developed in response to particular situations is crucial. Such an approach is helpful because it allows people to develop a deep understanding of their experiences. They begin to realize that what has happened to them is not just a passing incident, but a significant event that they need to address and heal from. This process involves a great deal of self-compassion. Recognizing that one's reactions are understandable and rooted in past experiences is an essential part of beginning to heal from trauma. A very effective approach that I often use when working with my clients is systemic family constellations. It is particularly helpful for root causes that we are no longer aware of because we have actively or passively chosen to forget them, or even for root causes that are not of this lifetime but have been inherited from ancestors, as many studies have shown, such as the one I mentioned earlier. It helps to create an awareness of where the pain and fear may be coming from, to confront it, accept it, and heal in the process. As a result, I have seen clients not only find relief from the symptoms, but also significantly improve their relationships with other people, be it with their family of origin, their romantic partner, or their children. In conclusion, understanding trauma and its effects is a complex process that requires patience, empathy, and compassion. Whether we're dealing with personal or inherited trauma, the key is to recognize the deep-seated nature of these experiences and work towards healing and recovery. As we navigate through our own experiences and those of others, it's important to remember that trauma is part of the human condition and we have all experienced it in one way or another. How we deal with it determines our journey towards healing and growth. Thank you for watching. If you found this content helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to receive more videos like this in future. See you in the next video.